Hello, interwebs. This is F3G2.
That's the name.
That's the name.
Oh, happy Father's Day. I don't want you to friend me on Facebook.
It is. Post happy Father's Day to all our viewers at home.
Yeah, don't get
so keep watching.
You don't know me, most of the people, so I don't care.
You know what? I am Sebastian from, where the hell am I from now? From GonnaGeek.com in the back of Famous Face and Funnies.
That's what this is for.
That's the double G. And this is Sean, my once upon a time co-host on the show. I occasionally mention that I used to do, but we don't talk too much about. And
hi, new audience. Do a lot of people watch this show?
I don't know, because I don't know the way it's set up. On YouTube, we don't have as many views as we used to get, but I don't know if it's set the way.
What are you going to do if the guys who run this website are like, that guy's awesome, we should get him on every show?
And then we'll get views again, because I don't get comments since people stopped hating you. Remember the co-host? I always say people used to comment about how they were always mad at. In case you didn't miss that, in case you managed to miss his sparkling demeanor.
I'm very opinionated.
It's true. You'll see. Don't worry about it. Hey, you want to kick us off with some turtles?
Fucking Ninja Turtles not done by Michael Bay. Shredder doesn't look like Megatron.
That is horrible. And the book's not going to explode. And they're still teenagers, as I understand.
I'm just assuming some of you from FIC watch this show, so you know I love Ninja Turtles.
He does love Ninja Turtles.
I'm a 26-year-old man-child. But Ninja Turtles is fantastic. This art, the story is fantastic. And Slash, who's the Ninja Turtle, the whole thing has been them getting an army to fight Shredder, because Shredder's taken over New York City and the Foot Clan. So now Hob and the Turtles are trying to form an army, and Slash gets smart. But it's really funny, like reading. You would probably appreciate this because Slash entertains me. And oh, you would like the pigeon, because the Pigeon Pete, all he says, "Hi, I'm Pete. Hi, I'm Pete." That's all he says.
So
Hi, I'm Pete.
It's a pigeon group.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And my
Turtles
last name
in
is
Time came out, and that's really awesome because they just randomly get transported to the Jurassic Age. We don't have it because I guess the store sold out. They just get randomly transported to the Jurassic period, and then Raphael gets kidnapped by the Krang, and he gets a little pet dinosaur, and he names it Pepperoni, and makes a little mask for him, and it's so adorable, and he's eating a little leaf pizza at the end, and it's all sags, the turtles go disappearing, and it's so adorable. I love it.
I want a dinosaur named Pepperoni.
So do I. I want a plushie.
I'm just saying.
I don't know how many people we have that love me. Probably like all Sarah. But Sarah should make me a plushie.
She should. And she can. She's all sorts of crafty.
I'm going to drink my Dr. Diabetes.
Did you read this one?
No, fuck that shit.
Batman Ra's al Ghul, number 32. It was actually, it was good. It explained a whole bunch of why that.
I don't care about Damien coming back. Don't kill him and bring him back a year later.
They're not necessarily going to bring him. They're going to bring A-Robin back. We don't know who it's going to be.
It's Damien.
But there's this.
Look, there's a Damien fetus.
In order to get to this one Lazarus pit that they couldn't find, the problem was it was lost under. It had been built over. And then the Parabat was built over it. But in. What's that book that nobody reads?
Batman and Robin?
Phantom Stranger.
Oh.
So that's a great place. If you're going to steal a whole city, do it in Phantom Stranger because no one will suspect to look there. So it's missing, and now Roz can get there. But this pit has an added bonus. This pit, not only does it bring you back, it wipes your entire memory of your life before, so and makes you very... And no Wi-Fi. Nanda Parabet wasn't big on Wi-Fi. I think they still had dial-up. So you end up...
There are still people with dial-up.
Malleable to suggestion of, say, if Ra's al Ghul is the guy throwing you in. So he throws in Talia. You get some great, Ra's al Ghul was not ready for Frankenstein to be, like, intelligent. He just assumed he was a big zombie, and Frankenstein's like, yeah, I'm a poet warrior. So that was pretty cool.
Batman Eternal 11 continues the story with shitty art. Their eyes bug out. If you
they do have some big eyes.
You can't defend this art. There's no defending it.
Oddly, it was very juxtaposed
also,
for me because
Mexican Batman cracks me up.
He does. That's what I was going to say. The story in this was really, really good, but and El Gaucho is just fun to say. El Gaucho, because you can't say it without becoming like
This is so horrible.
I don't know. Yeah, the art was a hell of a thing.
I mean, I get that you're doing a monthly or a weekly comic.
It looked like this issue will probably be huge in Europe. It just looks like those I don't know, Ian Bertram. Never.
He's the very last name on the cover. You know he's not important.
Well, yeah. But the artist's always last on that cover. They got 58 writers.
Or, you know.
But again, writers, the story this was a really good issue.
The story's fine. Art's horrible.
But the art was bizarre. And I don't know, there's like a chick called Scorpia who has like a centipede that goes on her head and turns her into a scorpion because
they cross with the Mummy franchise. I don't know if you missed that in issue 10.5. There's a tie.
It was the Scorpion Queen
the Rock's
came in.
in it,
yeah,
but now he's Black Adam. See how that all worked out?
Yeah, he was the Rock is Black Adam as the new Robin.
Brendan Fraser actually plays Al Gaucho. I'd watch that. Silver Surfer
is good and really, really weird. Mike Allred. It's amazing how Mike Allred's work is 100% Mike Allred, and at the same time, you just feel... I never realized how Kirby-esque he was until he started doing Kirby-esque things in the middle of Silver Surfer. And Dan Slott is just having a ball with this, and I'm liking it. You get some angry fathers seeking revenge. You got the Surfer. The board gets a name because the girl misunderstands him. Dawn misunderstands him. Her name is Dawn, right?
I don't know. You do that. I'm trying to find
something
things
like
that tie into things.
Dawn misunderstands. He says his, Slott likes to do that old Stan Lee Kirby-esque surfer dialogue. So he's in space and he's just like, "Toomey, my board." And she starts saying, "It's just me, you, and Toomey now." And he's like, "Who the hell's Toomey?" And she's like, "You're bored." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "You said Toomey, my board." And he goes, and the Silver Surfer just laughs at it and goes, "Fine, whatever." So the board is now named Toomey. Toomie. Because that's what she heard when he's like, also, they literally call him out on how, she's like, "Whoa, why are we, I can breathe?" He's like, don't hold your breath, you can breathe. She's like, "I can breathe in space, how?" He's like, "Mine is the power cosmic." She's like, "Why are we not freezing?" He's like, "Power cosmic." She's like, "How are we able to speak in space?" He's like, "Power cosmic." She's like, "Well, that's awfully convenient." He goes, "That's the power cosmic." So basically, the power cosmic is literally the power of Deus Ex Machina.
Original Sin 4. Yeah, I gave up after 3. I looked at 4 and didn't care anymore.
Literally, that was my review of number 3. Was I just gave up and threw it to the side when that came out. But this was better, I guess.
It wasn't. This end is worse than the previous end.
We get, it's already been spoiled, so here you go in your 3, 2, 1.
Who spoiled it?
No. It's and whatnot. Internet.
Show them here. Here's your spoiler.
Old Man
Fury.
Old Man Fury, surrounded by his Fury bots. It's kind of weird and innuendo.
He's been doing this for years.
Just hanging around with muscular versions of himself. But
since Fury had a kid who's Samuel,
it happens.
So does that mean the old man had that? Because
I'm thinking.
Because I don't think those Fury bots can reproduce.
I don't know. There's
they
somebody.
They all do have junk pieces, though. Look at that junk piece.
There's somebody at S.H.I.E.L.D. who's like, taking samples of Fury. Here, fill this. We're going to put this in the bots so this way you can... It works better for the spy thing if he's irresponsible and can accidentally...
There's only 4 Fury duplicates here.
Yeah, but he's
one of
probably
them
got
has Spice Girl shoes. Look at that. Look at them Spice Girl shoes.
Well,
He'll tell you what
Fury
he
wants to
what he
spice
really
up your
wants.
life.
Yeah, we did 2 of those.
Well, that's how they tell them apart. This old Fury, sporty Fury,
right.
Baby Fury,
sporty,
scary.
Stop. Avengers 31. It's an original Sentai, and that's all I know.
It ties in somewhat. It ties in so much as Cap. The eye exploded and Cap goes, "Oh shit! I remember you guys erased my mind."
Is Sporty Fury in here?
No.
Fury?
They keep getting bumped into the future. That's every issue.
Oh God,
they get bumped randomly into the future, and people fall off. The platform gets smaller in between each jump, and people fall off and kind of age instantly and turn to powder, and then wake up back in Tony Stark's lab, not dead.
There's been more Avenger books with Hawkeye this year than Hawkeye books.
There have been Hawkeye books, I know.
2 Hawkeye books.
I was wearing my shirt yesterday, because Boomerang's shirt. And that's it. I think that's the entire Hawkeye appearance for 2014. This is my shirt.
Nova is the most emotional comic book.
Nova, yeah. You would believe a man can cry.
He's friends with the Watcher because the Watcher is like the first person he met with superpowers, and then he finds out the Watcher's no more. And then he goes and he's like, "Oh, I want to fight. I'm going to help the Avengers," and he doesn't because he gets all scared because he's a kid like
Because when the first one that goes, what's her name? What
Dominatrix.
Yeah, that's a hell of a thing to have to. Wait.
Yeah.
What?
So then he finds out the truth about his dad, not what he wanted, and it's just really sad.
It is. Well, you're not starting a book off to a happy tone when like the first thing that happens is that Sam and his family have built a shrine of dead Nova helmets.
I just want to know why there's a Spider Nova, and whose head's that big?
Yeah, there's some big alien Novas.
There's the Jared Nova.
Like the Green Lantern Corps, they get like all the different shaped Green Lantern, and you have Mogo. If there was like a living planet Nova Corps member, would it have to have a helmet?
It was the helmet. It's just a floating helmet.
Would you build a castle shaped like a helmet?
It's just it's the floating. He's the helmet. The planet's the helmet.
That's crazy.
Supergirl 32 apparently is a Red Lantern.
She is, and it's frighteningly enough. I keep saying it's been the best thing to happen to Supergirl since the New 52. And in this one, what's weird is the Supergirl issues keep coming out before. They tie in with Red Lanterns, but the Supergirl issues keep coming out before the Red Lantern issues. So you've got her saying, "Oh, Guy Gardner sent me off to do." He hasn't yet. That's in Red Lanterns 32, which hasn't come out yet. So apparently, guys, like, look, go to Mogo and get your ring off and reclaim your life.
That's
and
not
she's
all
like,
he wants her to get off.
Oh. So she's like,
See what I did there?
I do see that. That was very me-worthy. You should be ashamed, and I'm so proud of you. But she reaches Mogo and then says, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm happy with this ring. I'm controlling my rage. I've finally taken. I felt like I belonged, and then they kicked me out and told me to, you know what? Screw this." So she heads back to. She goes, "I'm going to the only planet I know," and she heads back to Earth. And on the way, bumps into this guy who's been foretold since early on in her. This is the missing World Breaker. However, he's almost like the World Breaker concept from New 52 and the Eradicator concept from pre-New 52 combined, because turns out this guy, not the World Breaker. The suit is the World Breaker, and its job is to like empower people, and then it just takes over everything and builds this army of people.
Does it break
so,
worlds?
yeah, because the idea is, since it's from its theory, apparently you shouldn't make sentient armor because they're not great with pop psychology. Its theory is that Supergirl is who she is and the armor is who it is because Krypton got destroyed. So in order to make people become the best they can possibly be, its logic is you've got to destroy their world. So kind of like, a slightly more psychopathic version than Brainiac sociopathic. I'm going to collect a city of worlds that are dying, and then I'll have the only part left of that culture. This thing's like, I'm actually going to destroy the culture and then say, "You're welcome," to the one person I let live and tell them they can come with me.
Future's End number 7. I like it better than Batman Eternal, but I hate all the characters in it. They're all stupid characters.
It's for the first time they made me. I've been bitching every time about what they've done to Plastique in the New 52. They've kind of made her
those people.
This stupid chick, where she used to be badass and intelligent, and now she's just like
All I want
a
to know.
cliched high school chick rebelling against her parents kind of deal.
All I want to know is, what's this war? Is it actually going to happen in 52 continuity?
You know what I want to know? Apparently everything's building to, all the weeklies are going to combine to World's End, which is the battle between Earth 2 and whatever the hell New 52 Earth is called. But then what I want to know is,
84.
when all of that's over, is this a kind of thing where they can then prevent this 5-year possible future? Or does it jump to 5 years later and like Green Arrow is dead and, Mr. Terrific is Kanye West and I don't know what's happening?
Do you think they're ever going to explain where Superman and Batman are?
I think their whole explanation was in like the first one when Batman told him Batman told him don't talk to me because they'll try to stop you. That was Zero.
That was the free.
And then Superman, we don't know what's up with Superman because he's got a helmet.
What about Wonder Woman?
He's like Wildfire.
About the Green Lanterns. Where are the A-list characters that I care about?
It's like
I don't want to focus on them. I just want to know what they're doing.
it's like they're trying to use the formula from 52, except 52 had a reason for why those characters weren't there, and this just kind of said.
What was Wonder Woman's reason? I remember Bruce was in the cave finding
Bruce
himself.
was in the cave. Superman was
was
depowered, and Wonder Woman I think went back to Themyscira to try and rebuild whatever.
Yeah, they didn't work
all,
for it, did it?
They were all out.
Daredevil #4 is the best comic book ever because Chris Samnee draws it.
It's so good.
That's all you need.
It's
There are
so
a couple
good.
panels where I'm like, oh, he got lazy. Like those. But those kind of needed to be.
Well, it's.
No, I
There are-
just hate any panel.
You have two blind characters fighting.
No.
You may as well go with some all
I
black
just hate,
panels.
I
They
hate
can't see
any
anything.
panel like that where you can tell it's just, let's just black it out. Like, I hate stuff like that. But other than that, Chris Samnee's the best artist in the whole world.
He is awesome.
He's
The book is
fantastic.
awesome. I don't know what just went on with the owl, but he's looking quite creepy. And
All I
I
know
think
is the book's very pretty.
I think these two guys teamed up they both had different versions of how they were going to take down a. Let's face it, on his best day, Owl is a B-list
Dude,
villain.
you give him too much credit. It's like a D-list.
And I think they just upped him power scale-wise to like an Omega threat.
Are you excited for the TV show on Netflix? Do you have Netflix?
I'm going to get it because...
Just for that?
Yeah, mostly
Because
for
it's
that.
$10 a month.
Because, yeah, I'm fine. Angie's in love with what's-his-face. It's going to play Daredevil. Charlie Cox.
Sure.
Mr. Slater.
And you can watch all the Arrested
And
Development.
I've got my damn... Oh, yeah, I could. But they just cast my hero as Daredevil. That's all I want is Vincent D'Onofrio.
The Wicked and the Divine. Yep. So, it's pretty much... I can't explain it. There's
I didn't read it, so I can't
these
help you.
people have like godlike powers, and there's someone that looks like Rihanna. No, I'm dead serious about the Rihanna.
I'm not
Let's-
laughing because I don't believe you.
I
Is she wicked or divine?
don't know, she just kind of sits there.
That's what Chris Brown said.
That needs to be a harder thud.
Yeah,
On her
I'm sorry.
face.
That's what
Tell me it's not Rihanna.
Chris Brown. No, that's Rihanna.
Yeah, right? No, but it was good. I'm curious to see where the second issue goes. It's pretty much... Yeah, I can't really describe it, though.
Any book that has a back, here's your description. The back cover is just a quote that says, "Maybe we didn't want to scare the shit out of you, Lucifer."
There's no such thing as Lucifer. Or Jesus. Or God. There went all your views. Sorry. Uncanny X-Men 22. I'm X-Cops. Me. My book with me younger so much better than this garbage.
I like these X books. I can't help it.
Get out of here.
I can't help it. They're
Get out
good.
of here. His regular books, well, his young...
This
His book with his dad's better.
I didn't
Are you reading
see,
that?
and yeah, and I didn't see the twist here of who the actual bad guy was. Half because it was a twist, and half because it was a character I never really gave a crap about. But at least in this Marvel world where they've got all these multiple versions of these characters from different timelines, they did finally kill off Dark Beast, who was apparently behind all of this.
Spoiler alert, he's
Yeah.
not fully dead in All New X-Men. God.
It happened. That's not Dark Beast. That's a beast from the future.
Wait, no,
It's
I thought
not
Dark Beast was part of the group. That came back.
Dark Beast was with them for a while, and then he left and just hasn't been used for a while. And then he just
boring.
showed back up, and basically he's like, they're like, "Why are you doing this?" And he just looks at Cyclops and goes, "Because I hate you almost as much as you hate yourself." And he did all of this to fuck with Cyclops. But Magneto has saved Alison Blair, who apparently was... she's not even fully aware that she was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So apparently she was on the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier for like 6 seconds when she got replaced by Mystique. So there's that.
So Harbinger's really sad.
It is.
Did you know, like, they're planning on ending Valiant stuff around issue 25? Like, 25s are the cutoff for most of them?
I
read
only
a
heard
whole
it
thing about
recently,
that.
but yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
And,
besides Exo. What was the other one? Oh, Bloodshot ended at 25. This one's ending at 25, but then they're getting the Omega
Yeah, they're doing the
miniseries.
Omega miniseries, and I don't know if this is all gonna maybe kick off with something new post
Both
Armor
Bloodshot,
Hunters.
yeah, I don't know. Because they released the solicitations today, and all it had was Armor Hunters 4 in it, though.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was really
But
good.
we're gonna get the Degenerates limited series.
Oh, I can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. So this was the last fight between them, I guess. Although the cover for the next one has them fighting.
Yeah.
But covers don't mean shit.
It's true.
It's just wishful thinking.
Covers it just cover.
But it was almost a peaceful, happy ending for everyone besides the main guy, who I forget his name.
Peter.
Oh, that's a super easy name to remember. I should remember that. They're all kind of.
He gets
I can't
sciencey.
spoil
And yet
too
you
much
remember
for it.
There is a great line
Ike.
of.
I remember Ike. Ike from Morning Glories. Does anyone read that book?
I don't think so.
All right.
But
Oh,
it
sure.
gets-
Now you join.
it gets-
I asked you why you're not here, and now you're side commentating.
he didn't think it was cool till you did it.
I'm a trendsetter. I'm a hipster. So, anyways, that's that. Savage Dragon 195 is now the longest. Oh nope, Spawn is second longest running comic book.
Is I love the letters page because basically.
That's the review of this
Well,
comic.
no, you have to understand.
He loves the letter.
I love the
comic
story.
is nothing. The letter page is where
You
the
have to
comic
understand
is
this why the letters page takes precedent over the story. The story's good. It's Savage Dragon. I read it every.
The story's
I'd
not
say
good.
every month, but it doesn't come out every month. But I read it when it comes out. But these letter pages, basically, it's like Eric Larson picks out the letters that he doesn't like.
I like the letter page.
You know,
That's going. That should be your review for everything. I like the letter page in Saga.
F3G2. I like the letter
It's
page.
okay.
No, you have to. He does all this, or he's like his
Don't
whole
read-
response.
don't read the letters.
No,
No one
he's got
wants to-
these people write these giant letters, and his response is just
Who?
wait.
All 12 people that read this book?
He's like, wait, what? Then there's, for some reason there's
Jesus
like
Christ!
a
What
whole,
do they write this about?
a whole. Well, it's all because of the changeover from Dragon is now slightly depowered and off repopulating his race. He's gone off to stud.
So what? You have to give them your input
Dragon.
on what they should do.
Apparently
Jesus
they do.
Christ. Well, why not?
They but there's a whole section of just people who in their letters with I don't know, maybe I missed a reference in it, but there's like
Look, this guy's got it. 3 sentences.
there's like 4 people in a row who talk about checking to have if they have scales on their penis, and they're in there, and his responses are just he's like he's like I'm gonna go check for scales on my penis. He's just like good luck with that. He's like he's like I don't have any scales. Next letter is like I don't have scales on my penis. He's like congratulations. And then there's
Now, pardon me. I'm going to go check my dick for scales.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Good luck with that. All right.
And like the next 3 letters end with something
No
about.
scales here either. Jesus Christ. People are fucked up.
So
What's the matter with
the
people?
book, it's Savage Dragon. I love it. But the letters
Savage
page,
Dragon
I didn't even
consisted
read. I didn't even read half of the letters. I just read his little response. Eventually, he gets tired of.
Savage Dragon readers are the same people that read Soulfire and Fathom.
They must be.
Jesus
but
Christ.
Eric, well, I don't read those, and I'm a Savage Dragon reader.
You've reviewed them. Don't even.
No.
You've reviewed 1 or 2 of them when
Not
they
for
came
these
out.
shows.
I remember. Not for whatever this version of the show is.
I don't think so.
Until we upset this guy. Don't upset this guy. I don't know him, so I
I don't
can't.
think.
Does he live in Florida, this guy?
He lives in Canada.
Oh!
If he wants to kick our ass, he's got to. He's got to work for it. He's got to check his ass kicking through customs.
Oh my god, you live in Canada? That's so cool. There's like 80 of you up there.
We're now. The review show is now officially international.
Are we supposed to say a boot instead of about?
We can. What's this comic about? So Wonder Woman's really good.
No,
eh?
you gotta say oh, there you go. Wonder Woman.
you hoser.
Is it weird that it sort of looks like Cliff Chang, but you can tell it's definitely not Cliff Chang?
Yeah,
I think it's because the colorist is the same.
Yeah, the colors is and they clearly went with not a complete cling to his style, but definitely a style guide.
I feel like
was
it's been longer than a month between these issues too, because I was like, "What is going on? Who are these people?"
I just want to know: are there going to be any? There's going to be no Pantheon left.
I want to know what the deal with the baby is.
Yeah,
We have been reading this for almost 3 years.
Zeke.
The baby needs to grow up at least a year.
it's the only child in comic books who actually ages in real time.
God. If he's so important, have him learn to walk.
No hope shot
That
up
should be a
from
whole
like baby
issue.
to this baby's
A whole issue should be the baby learning to walk. And like, whatever, like, come here. And like lassoing him to
How many issues are left before isn't this team leaving and then someone else is going to come over?
What?
They were talking about it at the round table last night.
No, Azarella's leaving. God, I stopped
what I
working at the
heard.
shop for 8 months. I don't know anything.
And I'm going to be heartbroken, but I think half the internet is going to be... Well, they'll be thrilled until the new one starts, and then they find something to hate about that. But I've loved this run of Wonder Woman. I don't know what to tell you.
Sex Criminals. You don't read Sex Criminals at all? You've never read Sex Criminals?
I've never read Sex
All right,
Criminals.
the
I know
premise,
you read at least the first issue.
the premise behind Sex Criminals is when they
It's
have
sold out, so I
sex
didn't read it, and that's why.
and they climax, time stops. So they're able to do whatever they want. Like the guy, he poops in his boss's plant. She just wanders around and does stuff until they come up with a scheme to get money so her library doesn't close. So they rob a bank, and then they find out they're sex police. Well, I can't say the name for them because I don't know how Canada feels. I don't know your name, so I'm calling you Canada. I don't know how Canada feels.
Steven.
Oh, that's boring. I was hoping it was some like cool name, not the name of our intern.
His last name's John Drew.
Ooh. All right. So this issue, the first story arc, I dealt a lot with.
All right. Sorry, this seems a little weird and jumpy. We had some technical difficulties. It's also why you got cut short in your Sex Criminals review, but Sean buggered off to do actual work. So we'll just end it with, he really, really liked it. They have the powers to, every time they do it, they can stop time, they meet each other, and kind of team up with that. And it has a back cover that says, for mature readers, duh, because it's called Sex Criminals. So that's all you need to know. Wolverine in the X-Men #5. Quentin Quire comes into his own. So I've been back and forth with how I've liked this book since it's been relaunched under Jason Latour, but I love Quentin Quire, and he mans up in this, and it's great. And there's also a great back and forth between Cyclops and Wolverine, which is good in and of itself, that we're getting some Cyclops Wolverine not trying to kill each other moments. But Cyclops actually sits Wolverine down and goes, look, Quentin Quire is one of your students. That's a decision he has to make every day. Every day he decides not to be some world terrorizing asshole, and he does that because he has faith in you. So maybe you could have a little faith in him. And that made me happy because, 1, I love Quentin Quire, so I liked hearing that. 2, Wolverine really needed to hear that. And 3, Cyclops saying that undoes part of the I'm a complete dick aura that Cyclops has had since AVX. So that was good. Loki, Ragnarok, and Roll, #4 of 4. You guys really need to buy the trade. This is by Eric Esquivel and Jerry Gaylord. Loki was banished from Asgard, formed a rock band. The other gods from various pantheons came to stop him because he was now directly involving himself in the lives of mortals, which is against the rules. Turns out Loki had a plan. Turns out Odin, despite being beheaded, had a part in this plan. And there are several twists, including a great last little throwaway by Loki where he gets to tell the other gods, oh, almost forgot. Also, turns out Loki is friends with the Flying Spaghetti Monster, who he actually leaves in charge of the entire audience. He needs a moment alone with his band, so he sends the audience to the Bifrost, and as a babysitter so they don't hurt themselves in between dimensions, he takes out his cell phone and calls FSM and says, hey, Flying Spaghetti Monster, you keep an eye on these guys for me. So that's pretty cool. Alright, Amigo, Lunita #3. I'm really liking this book. The cover is by, I believe, the original series artist. There's like multiple artists in this because it got kind of delayed. It's a very it's like how do I put this? Buffy for, say, South America or Europe. It's a Buffy-esque concept, not necessarily hunting vampires, more kind of Buffy X-Files with non-American sensibilities is really the best way to describe it. She's hunting on, well, Lunita is actually the daughter of the moon, and finding out more about herself. She is partnered with a, he's not a werewolf, I forget the term for what he is.
Lycanthrope?
No. It is some, other word that I'm not going to, that I could find like 3 times throughout the story, but I'm not going to turn to any of those pages. He's a Bassajon. I don't know how you say that. Bassajon. And they're these plant people. They look like hot chicks, but they kind of drain your energy out, and they're just plants, so you can kind of just rip them apart. There's a group that is holding a mermaid and using her for her tears, but the other mermaids are now declaring war on humans until they get this one back. And the mermaid representative, talking to one of the government people, says, "Look, she's like, this is not a threat. We are at war. Think about all your crowded beaches." Because these mermaids have the siren power where they just sing you out into the water and your death. So there's like very cryptozoic, and just really, really good. And the art is very, very stylized, but I just love it. I just do. So Eye of Newt #1, I did not like so much. Everything about it reminded me of the 70s. Possibly late 60s. Also, everything about it reminded me of like t-shirts that I had in the 70s, just that weird generic 70s-esque fantasy. It reminded me of blacklight posters you'd buy in like, not even, what the hell's that store I used to work for?
Spencer's?
Yeah, Spencer Gifts. Not even like in Spencer Gifts, but just at like flea markets again in the 70s, and I couldn't get into it. Ballistic #5 ends like the hot mess that it was. This book was just a bizarre acid trip of future fantasy. I loved it, but there's no way I'm going to be able to describe this to you in any way that would be satisfactory to you, me, or anyone involved in the book. So just check it out and let me know what you think. Magnus Robot Fighter #4. I keep telling you, I love what Dynamite is doing with the gold key characters. Magnus is off and running, but people are starting to think now. They're starting to question, because it's very forget Big Brother. The computers, the machines are actually running and watching, but they've convinced everybody that this is cool. And then Magnus, who was raised outside of all of that, is fighting his way through, and now people are saying, "Wait, why are they doing the things that they're doing?" And it's really, really well done. This is Fred Van Lente, so you know it's good. And Corey Smith's art, super good. Red Sonja #10. Gail Simone and Walter Giovanni. This issue, she's fighting a man who he calls himself like Osric the Untouched. Did I get his name right? Blah, losing. Yeah, meet Osric the Untouched. This guy is called the Untouched because not only is he this awesome fighter whom no one's blade has ever touched, but he's also untouched because he's a virgin. He's sworn the only way he would sleep with a woman is if she can beat him in combat, and so far nobody can. He goes up against Sonja and just kicks her ass, and eventually Sonja realizes, through the help of the courtesan that she's traveling with, Sonja doesn't know how to fight for points and for entertainment. Sonja only knows how to fight like her life is on the line. So she re-challenges him and kicks his ass, mostly because she's still gathering the people that she was told if she brings back the right amount of people for this dying emperor's farewell party, that he would release 1,000 slaves from the city. Turns out he's lying about that, unbeknownst to her, but so that'll end well. But this guy's on the list to bring back, so she beats him and like, okay, now you're coming with us. And he's like, well, you beat me. Did you want it? And she's like, don't even. She's like, no, just because I beat you, doesn't mean that that we're doing it. Even though that was her original interest in him, but since then he'd pissed her off. Lone Ranger, really, really good. Lone Ranger and Tonto story. They are helping a group of Native Americans who are just being wiped out, and they come along and help them. And then Tonto's got a gun to this murdering white guy's head, and some white woman just yells out, you know, "Oh my God, that savage is going to shoot him!" And Lone Ranger goes ballistic. You think he's the savage? And he just starts rattling off. So it was like if you like watching smug, entitled people be put in their place by masked cowboys, this is your book. Doodle Jump. What the fuck? Just because of that cover, I actually had high hopes for this. I was actually looking forward to it. I was like, I don't know what this little bug-looking thing is. I think I like him. Then I read this, and you know how some books keep you guessing, and you're not sure what's going on kind of way? This, you're just not sure what's going on because I don't think any forethought was involved. It's just stuff happens, and you're more in a what the fuck kind of way than a, you know, oh, I wonder what's happening. This is more what the fuck is happening. Just not as good. All right, we got 2 trades and a book. All right, Not Brand X, the all new X Factor. Peter David and who's doing the art on this? D Giandomenico. See, Italiano is molto bene. So good. I always loved Peter David's X Factor. I just have. This X Factor doesn't even have my beloved Multiple Man, but it is so good. So good. It's got Gambit, who I hate, but it is so good. He's making me like Gambit. I love these costumes that they wear. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm colorblind, but I love these yellow and green, I think that's what they are, costumes. With these little serval, because they work for a company called Serval, so they got this cat symbol on them. But when you end up with a lineup that when it all comes together, it's Gambit, Quicksilver, Polaris, Danger, Warlock, and Cypher. I love this team. They had me at any one of those except Gambit. And it's just so good. You've got Havoc in the background because he's got Quicksilver on the team to keep an eye on everybody else, especially Gambit, because Gambit has an agenda. Quicksilver has an agenda, but Quicksilver's agenda is mostly finding out what Gambit's agenda is. And yeah, you got Warlock, you got Doug, you got Warlock sort of infatuated with Danger, and Danger just like calls him out. I don't think in this trade, it's in what'll be in trade 2, but Danger just calls him out on, why the hell do you talk like that? Looks like, well, Self does not understand. She's like, you're not an idiot. Why do you keep calling yourself Self? I just love it. Amazing X-Men Volume 1, The Quest for Nightcrawler. This is the Jason Aaron, Ed McGuinness, bring Nightcrawler back. So really, there's no reason this should not be an addition to everybody's trade collection. $17.99, check that out. Now, many moons ago, when the show was the other show, I reviewed the first book of this, which was, what the hell was that called? Why do I never remember anything when I want to?
It's your curse.
It's true. Blah, 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 blah. Just, they mentioned, okay, The Explorer. Alright, Explorer was really good. This is by James Smythe. The Explorer involved a ship that just went out into space just to see how far they could go. And they hit this weird anomaly, and everybody was dying, and the one character managed to survive as it came sort of out of the anomaly. And then when the ship started over, and everybody was there stuck in a cycle to die again, but now there were 2 of this one guy. And the other one was slightly older because he had lived through all of this, and he just hid and watched this happen over and over and over, and eventually just kind of loses it and tries to take the ship out and hopefully break the cycle. Apparently that doesn't end as well, because years later another ship goes up to study the anomaly. They think they're ready for it until they realize they find the first ship. They find the Ishiguro in there, and they try to go in and save some because they can see survivors because it's still looping. So they go in there and realize that once you can pass into the anomaly, but you can't pass back out unless you're dead. But the one chick that gets stuck in there, the one scientist that gets stuck in there, dies and then instantly comes back and just keeps resuffocating. But every time she comes to, the air is back in, and because it's the time loop. So they watch her suffocating like a million times until finally they just bring the whole ship in, not necessarily on purpose, and are then trying to figure out what to do. And it's a great little time loopy thing simply because you feel their frustration because they want to stop stuff, but they realize, and then you've got the one surviving character realizing, oh crap, I don't want to die because if I die, it just reloops and I won't remember, because you don't remember. It's not like you die and go, oh man, I died. You start back like it never happened and just go through these same motions over and over. And he doesn't know if this has happened to him. And it's really trippy, but it's really, really good. So I recommend checking out this one and the Explorer. So feel free to do so. And that's it. I will see you in the next week, interwebs.